Marvel Strike Force and its spending policy once again. So there's this kind of there's been a lot of controversy over the past 2 3 weeks, and whether you can trust Marvel, or whether you can trust Scopely, whether you can trust Marvel Strike Force, whether this game is actually run by people who care about the community and care whether the game is a good game, and whether the people who play the game are satisfied with the game or not. Now, I think they will say whatever it takes for you to get you on board, to get you on side, and that's generally what businesses are like. You know, they have a bottom line. They're there to make profit, and genuinely, you know, these people that actually look at whether the game is making progress in the right direction, all they look at is the upward line of the graph. So if profits are on the rise, then they're doing the right thing. They're doing a good job. So they're never going to see a few complaints, even 1,000 complaints or 1,000,000 complaints. They're not going to think, oh well, we're doing a bad job. They're just going to think this is a few people that you can't keep everyone happy. That's all they think. I mean, there seems to be a culture of spending on this game where people think it's not only okay to spend on the game, it's necessary to spend on the game, and you have to spend on the game. You don't have to spend on the game. And I literally do think that the more you spend, the worse you feel, because you don't make progress as you. I mean, does spending on the game make progress? Obviously, it saves you time, but you make that progress anyway. As in, you'll get there. If I purchase something from this game, for example, if I purchased something such as these, it would cost me almost £10, yet it wouldn't last me. It wouldn't take any of my characters. It wouldn't be enough to upgrade any of my characters. I would have to buy it 3 or 4 times over. That's for each character. So for my entire roster, I would have to literally, I'm talking about 10 times 5 times, so 50 times 10, that's £500 to possibly upgrade one ability each on 5 characters. £500 to upgrade one ability on 5 characters when you need a multitude of abilities. So what I'm trying to explain to you is the game, the way it's structured, it's designed in its thousands. It's designed like that on purpose, so it takes you a long time to get there. But the rewards they give to you are in the ones and tens. So it takes you a long time to earn them rewards to get to the thousands. The purchases cut the time down that it takes for you to get there by possibly a day or two. But you will get there anyway. And unless you're going to be buying something every single day to make that standard, the level of progress you make by that one purchase will null itself out. It will balance itself out throughout the week when you're not paying for things. So eventually, you make the same progress regardless. Unless you're going to spend all the money in one go and grab the character, because spending these incremental things, it literally is. It's just a trap. It's a trap. It's a trap like a credit card's a trap. It's a trap like any organization out there when it comes to taking your money, taking your money and saying to you, you know what, we'll take your money and we'll give it you at this discounted price or whatever, because these offers have no value. This is just something on a template which was designed. So whatever money they were going to make off this, whatever money it took, they still have to pay their developers for further game progress. But whatever money that it took to develop this game, that has been made multiple times over. Many, many times over. Now, when they have new characters, when they have new events, when they have new offers such as these, it literally is copy and paste. And when they want you to pay £45 for a character who we actually don't even know if he's going to be any good yet. We don't know if Multiple Man is going to be any good. And all the characters are priced the same. Hey, standardization, that's a good thing. But we actually have to be a little bit wiser. I've spent money on the game and I don't feel good about it because it's not helped me progress through the game any faster. It's a lot of money gone, which I can't get back. And a lot of the characters are actually not worth anything whatsoever. They're definitely not worth that price. Multiple Man might be a good character. In the grand scheme of things, Multiple Man and Polaris and even Colleen Wing and Misty Knight, new characters who are coming to the game, they're second-rate characters. I don't really value them characters. I don't value them in the same way that I value Silver Surfer. I don't value them in the same way that I value Spider-Man or Magneto or Mystique or the classic characters or Beast or any of the X-Men, the classic ones. I don't think that these subcategory characters who are literally like, I'm sure there's lots of people who are big fans of them, but the majority of people, they view them as minions. They're nothing more than support characters. So yeah, it's good that it's a team building game and you want to build teams, and any character can be in the game. Captain America has no superpowers in it really, so he's still a great character. We love Captain America, but seriously, you've got the entire Marvel universe to pick from, and I understand why you pick these characters. You pick these characters because they're coming on the TV shows. They're coming to the films. They're coming to the TV shows, and it's about promotion and popularity. But this is what Marvel does as well. If you know anything about Marvel, it's done the same thing with the comic books. The characters that weren't popular, it just redone their stories, it rehashed their stories, and just went round and round and round. Not just for a year, not for 2 years, not for 5 years, for decades and decades and decades. They've just tried to find a way of selling their characters, unpopular characters, to the public and finding ways to make them popular. So right now, what you're going through is literally, it's everything that they've learned over the past 50 years of how to make people, because these characters, they were good. They were always good. The problem wasn't the characters. The problem was the storytelling. Once they found the good writers, once they found good storytellers, the characters came alive. And that's what is missing. What's missing in this game is quality. It has no quality, because you're doing the same thing every single day. I play the game as well, but I'm not ultimately that delusional that I tell myself that I'm doing something that is constructive, that is a good use of my time. Because we literally, to make progress in this game, not only do you have to spend, say, 3 to 4 hours of your day in the game, but you're also having to spend money. So it's asking for a lot. And what is it giving us? It's giving us repetition. Every game mode you go through is just repetition. Now, I don't want to hop on for ages and ages just on the same thing, but this game is not good value for money. If I handed you a piece of paper with a picture on it and said it cost you £1 million, but I'm going to give you at the discounted rate of £100, it doesn't mean that I'm doing you a favor. It's not a bargain. No, it's still just a piece of paper with a picture on it. And that's what they're trying to sell you. And as for when it comes to bugs happen in games. We understand that. But this game it's calculated. It's calculated. And they are completely aware. They have models, they have computer models that replicate how things work when you put them together. They know. It's not a mystery to them. They know which characters are going to work. How do you think they get these characters to be in sync with each other? It it's all pre-planned. And if you believe it's not, if you believe it's just some kind of, oh no, you know what, poor guys, they're doing the best to give us a good game, right? And they're working really hard and they're sweating, they're working 80-hour weeks. No, they're not. They're just taking your money. And they're happy to take your money because that's the business. Are they trustworthy? Yes, they are trustworthy. They're trustworthy to take your money. That's what you can trust them to do. Let's have a look at some of the offers, and let's just have a look at some of the offers, and let's just see how much progress you could make with some of these offers. Are they going to make you any progress? Let's have a look. And I do appreciate you stopping and listening and just paying attention to this message, which I think is quite important. The requirements just way beyond us, and whatever they offer us for the prices they offer us, it's not feasible, it's not realistic, it's unethical, and we should be ashamed of ourselves for buying these offers. They should be ashamed of themselves for offering these offers. This is not the future of gaming, which is sustainable, and it's bad for the entire industry. Right, so we have the Strike Pass that some people might want to spend money on because Silver Surfer, understandable, good character. If you decide you want to spend money on that, I'm not going to say don't spend your money on something that you want to spend your money on, that's going to give you pleasure. But let's not make it a regular thing. At the end of the day, he's a good character. He's probably the best character that they've had up to this date on the game. And I don't know what to say. I mean, personally, I have spent some money on Silver Surfer. I'm not going to stop playing the game. But I don't think that promoting spending money on the game is, because you're going to get Polaris, who's going to be on the next Strike Pass. So you're going to have to buy that if you want Polaris. However, I'm not going to buy that because Polaris is obviously, she's going to add to probably one of the best teams in the game. But this is going to be something which is just going to roller coaster. It's going to be never-ending cycle of things that are to come. We're always going to have a new team come along and the character that you need. And nowadays it's not even a key character that you might need to spend money on. It's actually what the situation is now. It's more of a case of you having 2 or 3 characters on the team that you have to spend money off, and you're pigeonholed into spending that money, because it's a case of waiting for 3 months to 6 months up until you might have that character without spending, or you could spend the money, get the character, and have that character probably not usable up until the next time that character comes around. So either way you lose anyway. So it really is it's a negative cycle of you don't win either way. At least by not spending your money, you get to keep your money in your pocket, which is, I think, is a far better option for you and for me and for the rest of the world and for our mental well-being. But that's the Strike Pass. I think, that's the Strike Pass 3. It is what it is. There's some decent things in there. I mean, Silver Surf, extra 50 shards. For me, that would be my quota for the next 3 months. And if you look at my roster, this is why I tell you that it's really not feasible to. So for these characters, level 13 is a massive block. I mean, everyone's aware, but these things, the superior ballistic weave, the top characters need it. So Sinister needs it, Emma Frost needs it, Taskmaster needs it, and you need 25 pieces for each character to get from level 12 to 13. Then you need further 25. So that's, and to actually to acquire this item, you have to pay £13.49 for 10. So 24. For me to actually buy this, it would cost me, I'd have to buy the pack 3 times. So that would be £30. That would be £39. So that would be £49 for me to get from level 12 to level 13. For me to get, and that's not including 12, to get from 12 to 13 and then from 13 to 14. So this is 13 to 14, it would cost me £40. So if I add on the 12 to 13, which is another 2 packs, so that would be another 13. So that's 40, 50, 60 pounds, 60, 70 pounds we're on. And then you've got whatever it takes to get from so, because that's just for one piece. So obviously you need the different gear pieces. For example, on Mr. Sinister, you need that for, you need it for these. You need over 50 pieces of those. You need 50 pieces of those, and you need something like so 60 pieces of those. So this is getting into the £100 just for one piece. And obviously you need more than one piece because you need all these other pieces as well, and you also need all these different molecular pieces, and it's beyond ridiculous, but that's what it is. If you have the money and you want to pay for it, and that's the route you want to go down, no one's judging you, that's fine. But there should be another option. There should be an option to actually get somewhere in the game without having to pay for it. Because where's the challenge in this game? Who are you actually playing against? Are you playing against a computer? Are you playing against a person? Are you playing against yourself? What you're playing against is absolutely nothing. You're not playing against anything. Your only thing that you're playing against is your own time. So if you don't spend the money, you save a bit of time. I mean, if you spend the money, you save a bit of time, but you get there anyway in time. So it's a kind of a silly situation, who are you running this race against? I have to ask you once again, who are you running this race against? Because you're not in competition, and if you get ahead, the same million people who were ahead of you will still be ahead of you because everyone's doing the same thing. You're never making progress in this game. It's absolutely a pointless venture. It's like me trying to take the ocean from one side of the world to another, cup by cup. That's how ridiculous it is. So what I say is just please. I'm not saying don't play this game. I'm not saying that you shouldn't play the game. I'm not saying that you shouldn't enjoy the game and collect the characters and take pleasure and do all the things that this game encompasses, but keep your wallet closed and keep your hands in your pockets, and just don't make it a regular thing. You don't have to. I mean, if you want to, if you get pleasure out of that and that gives you satisfaction. For me, it doesn't give me satisfaction. It actually makes me feel bad because I don't like to be taken advantage of. And this is not fair. It's not realistic. It's not a good pricing policy. And the same thing applies for all these characters. For example, this superior titanium alloy, 24 pieces. So 24 pieces, and how many characters need those? I think there's about 3 or 4 good characters that need those. So he needs them, and I think Taskmaster even needs them.
So Hela is a similar situation. Hela requires this superior miasma, whatever. You know, these things are literally, some of these things might have had a reference at some point in the comic book, in a comic, in a cartoon, in a TV show. There might have been a reference to it at some point during Marvel's history. There might have been some point a reference to one of these items. Not every single one of these items, just one of these items. Most of these things, they're literally just pulled out of a hat, made up to get more money out of you. It's beyond ridiculous. There's another person that needs superior ballistic weave. I think Invisible Woman needs it as well. You know, Spider-Man needs the spores, the alien spores. The best characters, and that's the situation as it is. It's understandable that they all need different things and they're all expensive things. Every mutant will require this superior Germaline strain, and it's hard to get. It's late in the Doom campaign, which is difficult to. They only give you one out of every orb, and you need a ridiculous amount. You need like 24 of them for each character, so you need 12 of them to go from, I believe it is, to 12, and then from 12 to 13 you need another 24, and then from 13 to 14 you need another 24 for each character. And as I've said, 24, to get 24 you'd have to spend £40 each, so that would be £40, £80, and another £20, so that would be £100 per character. So if you had 5 mutants, just for one item it would cost you, so just for one item it would cost you £500 to get one item. So that doesn't gear you up. So £500 doesn't gear you up, right? Because you need all the other stuff as well. Don't forget that. Don't forget you need this late on in the game. Superior, don't forget there's a difference between the advanced and the superior, because it switches to superior when they get to a certain stage, and the advanced is just as difficult to get as the superior, but the superior is, well, it's not just as difficult to get, it's accessible, but it's difficult to get, whereas these ones are so late in the game and so high up in the, and to get your characters to the level that it takes to achieve the events, you're not actually there yet, because you need these pieces to gear your characters up, to get them strong enough to take part in those actual game modes. But you can't do that because you're not willing to pay for it. If you're willing to pay for it, then you've got everything in the bag. It's such a scam. It's such a terrible thing. And I hate to say it, that, people try to be polite about it. It's beyond being polite about. It's just bad business. Stop it, please stop it. Right, that's going to be my whole rant over, because I think I've got a huge headache, and I don't know even if I would rather. I've spent so much time, so many hours on this game. It's just, I have other things in my life I'd like to achieve rather than just play some. If this game gave me some other game mode apart from doing the same thing and pressing auto or pressing, literally the characters I want to play with and use, I can't use because you're forcing me to use characters that I don't want to use, to build a roster, to build characters that I don't care about, that I don't want to use. And I can't use the ones that I do want to use. They're sitting on the shelf doing absolutely nothing, whilst you expect me to pay money to not enjoy a game, to level up characters that I don't care about in game modes that are not interesting. Arena is the same as Blitz, pretty much, right? Except you get 5 goes for doing the same thing. You know, there's a slight bit of difference. There's a very, very slight variation in difference. You do virtually the same thing in War, which is, you know, you get a team which is probably 20,000, 20k stronger than the other team, and you win. There's not really all that much thought behind it. There's not, you know, let me YouTube the answer to this question or whatever. There's not that thought behind it. There's not that challenge behind it. Where's the skill? Where's the technique? Where's the knowledge? Where are those key components that make a game a game? You know, I've walked into a casino, but at least they make it obvious that all they want is money. They don't try to hide behind being something that they're not. Crazy, crazy, crazy. It's crazy what human beings actually do. What I'm saying is wake up. Wake up to the fact that they are taking advantage of you. And if you're giving your money away to them, you're letting them take advantage of you. Just stop it. Let them realize the difficult way. When you kick them in the wallet, it hurts more. And they pay attention. Thank you for your time. If you've got to the end of this movie and you've got to the end of this film and you've actually listened to me rant all this while, I thank you very much, and I wish you all the best, and I hope you do play this game. I hope you don't quit the game just because of bad feelings, because you know what? Don't force them to stop doing something, because it is a game. It's got a lot of good things about it, but let's be honest. You know, Scopely bought the game. They bought the game to make more money. They didn't decide to make changes about the game. They decided to keep everything the same because they were quite happy. They thought this structure was a perfectly nice structure for them to keep filling their boots. Anyway, thank you very much. Take care. Have a good day. Peace out, everyone. Goodbye.